Hi everyone, I just want to show you a little excerpt from yesterday's Parliament House session where Senator Malcolm Roberts generously and kindly read a letter from me, and halfway through a Green senator called me Islamophobic. It's not funny, but it's funny because well, watch and see when it happens, because straight after it, when Senator Malcolm Roberts continues to read it, it addressed exactly what I was being accused of. Let me know what you think.
These are her words, based on her lived experience and that of her family. My name is Janet Shea. I'm an Iranian Australian. Yesterday, on the 1st of March 2026, the leader of the Islamic government of Iran, Ayatollah Khamenei, was killed. The Iranian people have waited 47 years for this moment. This is a historical and joyful time for Iranians and for the world. Although I am joyful for them and hopeful that soon I may visit my family and the graves of my loved one in Iran, I am deeply concerned for us here in Australia. I'll say that again. She is deeply concerned for us here in Australia. In 2025, Prime Minister Albanese declared Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, a terrorist organisation. Thank you, Prime Minister. However, declaring a group a terrorist organisation means very little if the ideology that drives that group continues to be taught and defended on Australian soil without consequence. What does our government intend to do about those living among us who actively promote and defend the same ideology that endorses killing of apostates, abusing women and the sexual violation of children? On the 14th of December 2025, there was an attack on Bondi, on Australian soil, against Australians. The Prime Minister said, sorry. Okay. But sorry is not honestly about what we are dealing with. An ideology cannot be called terrorist overseas, but acceptable when it's in our own country. See, the people protesting in Iran are not afraid of being politically incorrect to name what they endured under Islam. They are not going to be gaslit into calling it a misinterpretation. So I'll follow in their footsteps and speak plainly. There are two types of Muslims, a good Muslim and a true Muslim. I know good Muslims, she said. They are kind, generous, and they want exactly what the rest of us want. Safety, family, a future, a decent life. But they are good Muslims because they do not follow all that Islam actually instructs them to do. That is why they are good Muslims. The Islamic government of Iran, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Hamas, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, the Muslim Brotherhood, the Houthis. These are not people who went rogue away from their faith. These people read their Quran and said, we will do exactly as our holy leader instructs. By their own scriptures measure, they are the true Muslims. The good Muslim and the true Muslim are two different people.
Senator Roberts, sorry. I'll just ask you to resume your seat for a second. On a point of order, Senator Shoebridge.
Yeah, thank you, Acting Deputy. The inflammatory language here of good Muslims and true Muslims attacking the Muslim faith in the way that this senator is doing is contrary to the standing orders, and I'd ask you to have him withdraw that commentary and ensure that the debate we have in this chamber does not lead to that Islamophobia that we just heard from Senator Roberts, or as my colleague says, hate speech.
Senator Shoebridge, I don't quite see it as you do, but I'm going to just check with the clerks just to make sure we get this right. Yeah, look, thank you. And the clerk has concluded with myself. You have the chair, Senator Roberts. Oh, you have the floor, sorry.
Thank you. The word Islamophobia is used in Australia to shut down the freedom to have opposing conversations about the religion of Islam.
Exactly what just happened. Isn't the timing incredible? He is accusing me and Senator Malcolm, obviously, because he's reading my letter, of Islamophobia as soon as a conversation has begun. Let's continue.
A phobia is an irrational fear. Reading the Quran and asking whether its teachings align with Australian values isn't irrational. Christianity is openly mocked in our country without legal protection from criticism. Nor should there be such protection. In a free society, any belief system can be questioned. But when Islam is questioned, the conversation shuts down and the person asking the question is called the problem. And the question about Islam never gets answered. Australia, she says, Australia, we have the right to read, question and think for ourselves. Go to your local library, pick up a copy of the Quran, read the Hadith, the recorded words and example of their Prophet Muhammad. Draw your own conclusion and decide if Islam should be shielded from scrutiny in a democratic nation. Demand that our government clearly distinguish between those who wish to live freely alongside us and those whose convictions oppose the safety and freedom of Australians. And let us build our immigration, our policy and our national values accordingly. That is not hatred. That is not phobia. That is protecting ourselves. It is not good enough for our government to call behaviour terrorism when it's outside of our country and refuse to say the name when it is inside. The people of Iran were duped into accepting an Islamic government and have paid for it in blood for 47 years, while the world stood by and didn't listen. Do not let Australia learn that lesson the way Iran did. Long live a free Australia. Thank you, Janet Shea. This is what matters. The security of Australians is paramount to one nation and should be paramount to every member of this Senate.
Thank you, Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Senator Malcolm Roberts, and thank you to Parliament for letting that letter be read.